Surprise! You weren't surprised, were you? Because you clicked something. Dang it, I'm going to get you next time. But welcome. I'm Shamika.
I'm Elena.
And this is The Stuff.
We're really excited to have you here.
We are. You know, it's not a lot cozier now.
Gotten closer.
We have. Physically, mentally, emotionally,
Spiritually.
financially. I loaned her a quarter.
It helped my life out a lot, you know.
There you go.
And it taught me some things about love and humanity and
George Washington.
living in community.
Yeah, it's a great thing. I have no more quarters, so don't ask. But if you want to get closer to one of us, the best thing you can do is leave us a comment. Let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about, and let us know what you thought about the things that you talked about. Trolls need not apply, because we will not feed you. That's right.
One of my friends, Jorge, shout out to Jorge, mentioned a great idea, which would be if we were to live stream the show, then people could live tweet. So, if you think that would be an asset or something that you think would be fun, you could add that in the comments too.
Yes, let us know. Let us know what time you want us to live stream, because 4 o'clock in the morning is not my testimony. But if 10 of y'all co-signed on that idea, you know, I could become nocturnal and not diurnal for a day or so. You know, happy to oblige.
You can try new things, right?
Indeed and indubitably. Spice of life.
Let's see. The stuff. 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 The stuff.
The stuff.
The stuff.
Gotta have it.
Oh.
The stuff.
Oh. Okay, I think we're done. So,
La-ti-do.
what do you want to talk about?
Well, I feel like last time we did a really good job of setting up that girl, right? And that is what has been on my heart since then.
Cool.
We had talked about this notion of the way that women are represented and portrayed in film, media, television, etc. In particular, how you'll take an actress who is very slender, and she'll do a role in which, like Bridget Jones's Diary, Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
She went on and gained weight in real life. Sometimes they put on a fat suit, which is even worse. But they will do this role, and then they'll show up at their next event. The next event, I remember her showing up. She was like the Academy Awards, and she was very, very not Bridget Jones size. Like she had made a distinct point of going up to present the award, and she was extremely thin. And the point was, yes, I can play these roles, but that's not who I am in real life. And the comments, like the feedback was, how brave of her. That's amazing that she took on a role like that, you know.
Right.
And really, in reality, she took a role and an opportunity away from someone who actually looks like that in real life.
Right.
You know, like America Ferrera started out, and she was a larger woman. She was a curvier woman. And it was fantastic to see her when I was in my, 16, 17, sort of impressionable age. To see someone who looked like me on TV, it was incredible. Y Tu Mama Tambien. That was the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that before Ugly Betty? Because that was.
I think it was before Ugly Betty.
Okay.
Yeah, there's particularly a scene in which she's in the factory, the sewing factory that her mom's friends work in, and she like takes off her shirt. She's in her bra, and she's like, "This is me. Accept it." And that was the first time in my life I'd seen another woman's roles. You know, they're there. I have them. Apparently other women have them. But when I was 16, 17 or so, however old I was, I grew up in a family of people that were a lot slender than me, a lot smaller size, more petite. I felt really weird and awkward and different and wrong. And then I had no reference point. No one else looked like me in my family. When I looked on TV, everybody looked a certain way.
Right.
So it was very comforting to see this person who, up to that point in the film, I really aligned with. I appreciated everything that she was saying, and I saw myself in her. And when that moment happened, I distinctly remember seeing her arms jiggle. I saw her back fat. Like, all of these things that, like, have these negative connotations, I have.
Yeah.
And it was really amazing. I should go back and rewatch that film.
Mm-hmm.
It's very encouraging.
How do you think the limitations of, like, quote unquote acceptable public body, how do you think that feeds into that girl? You know what I mean? And when we talk about don't be that girl, or I don't want to be that girl, but because I think there's like a link, you know, between like how we read people's bodies as like a physical thing and the role that we think that they should occupy, you know?
Yes, well, there's definitely this sort of shared conception of that girl that embodies and takes on various aspects of either things that society casts as negative or inappropriate or unacceptable or uncouth, or just the laundry list goes on. And you could take a look at that laundry list of things and see a lot of power in the ability to speak your mind, or being taking up more space, just this notion that you take up more space, however that happens, either physically or with your personality or with your character, your voice, whatever the case. And it's sort of like saying, I'm not a feminist, but I do think women should really get equal. And so this notion to divest ourselves from that girl then says, I and all the people and things that I hold dear are not associated with that girl or any of those things.
Right.
But I'm just going to take this little bitty piece that I did. You know, you sort of try and bring it down a little bit, soften it maybe.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm. So there's like the policing element, you know, but there's also the personal ideas of like what is good, and like the fear of deviating from what is good, you know. So like a lot of times when I hear I don't want to be that girl, but the fear and the but comes from I don't want you to think that I'm bad or not good or somehow deviating from like what I've been told is my place, but right, you know. And that sort of like self-negation that comes in that statement, and then the way that we take that and like impose it on other people, right? Like, well, you know, she's one of those girls, right? What is that?
Yeah.
Do you think we could just like maybe take that apart, like all the things that get implied by that girl, and maybe just talk about each thing a little bit?
Yeah. Yes. Well, usually the times that it would be brought into a conversation, like if you're talking about sex or sexiness or attractiveness, so you would say something like, I don't want to be that girl, but I really like showing off my arms. Something simple like that.
Right.
That implies that girl is some hussy who's constantly walking around like with everything showing, like ankles and all.
Right.
You know, it's just
off to help
now yes, I'm gonna show my ankles for the rest of this time. Now I don't have the yoga to do it, but know that they're there in plain sight for anyone to come walk in and see.
Scandalous.
Scandal. I would be disowned if it were 150 years ago. But, you know, you take something like women who weren't supposed to show their ankles 150 years ago. That's been translated and changed and updated and whatnot to today.
Right.
You know, I would say for today, as a big-bosomed woman, I feel this pressure, unspoken, to not show any part of my boobs and make them smaller and more appropriate at all times. So if I'm wearing a spaghetti strap top, and I have the little top boob situation happening, I feel so bad. Because my whole décolleté is like inviting people. I feel people, children, mothers, I feel their eyes when people talk to me and I wear things. I remember working in a school, the children, they were so curious.
Right.
And I felt unprofessional. Or when I talked to the parents or the teachers, I felt inappropriate, exposing children to my body that way.
That's really, I think that phrase, inviting people in, is really important. Like, because like women aren't supposed to invite people in, period, right? Yeah. And so if you take that to like a sexual rhetoric, right? Like, no, you're not supposed to sleep with people because you're literally not supposed to invite people in to your body. Mm-hmm. And then this idea that like you are supposed to occupy a very specific covered space.
Yes.
And then that gets elevated to not only do you not invite people in, but you don't put yourself out.
Right.
You know, so if you go to a body level, I like to dress like a superhero. I like shorts and tights and boots together. That's what I like. Mm-hmm. Is that work appropriate? Do I get harassed extra when I walk down the street because I'm wearing that? Yes, I do. Right? Because then I become that girl. Right? She's dressed like that. So she's trying to get attention. She's looking for a man. She just, why does she wear some pants?
Didn't her mama raise her right? Don't she know how to dress?
Somebody said that to me one day. Yo, it wasn't even.
That's for real.
And it was funny because it was summer, so I was just wearing shorts.
Because it's summer.
Right.
Right.
Shorts, work boots, white beater. Come on, that's my summer thing. That's what I like.
That's you. All day.
I personally like.
Yes.
Come around the corner, we walk down the street, and this girl says to this other girl, didn't her mama tell her, you ain't supposed to come out the house looking tapa. And it was just like, Sunday afternoon, some person that I don't know felt the need to put me on blast.
Right.
Because my body was inviting in and putting out. Even in a non-sexual context, but the audacity to be comfortable enough to walk around in your body.
Right. Outside of your house. Right. This notion that you left the house looking like that. Yes. So what you do behind closed doors is your business. But once you step outside,
you are a public object.
Yes. Yes. And if you look a certain kind of way, either it's your mama's fault because she didn't teach you right, or if you are in a relationship, does your boyfriend know you walk around looking like that? Does your husband know you wearing that outfit? Like, you are being handled for the duration of your life by other people who are responsible for how you look and how you carry yourself.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you also said something that triggered to me. So we talk about being able to invite others in and this notion that you shouldn't be inviting people into your space. And I'm generally speaking about the chastity belt area, which was a thing, right? Your dad or somebody owned the key to that. I don't know. But this notion of being able to invite people in, I'm thinking about vampires who you have to, in some vampire lore, they have to be invited in before they can enter the homestead. Like if that's where you live, they have to be invited in. And vampires hold this, like, there's a lot of sexuality that comes with vampires. There's a lot of issues with, like, the sexual female who's a succubus or, steals children, this sort of thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.